Coach Nate Sellers, you had multiple state champs last year, won the team title for the second straight season. What kind of squad do you have this year?
We got a young, hungry squad here, JP. I only have one senior that's on the team. So we got a bunch of youngsters that are just chomping at the bit.
Who's getting it done for you? Who are some of those youngsters?
Oh, man, I got leading the way is Lorianne Piestua. She's undefeated. She's 23-0 right now. She probably saw her stiffest competition at Cleveland this past weekend. With the girl out of Las Cruces, which she pinned in the second period. But other than that, she hasn't made it past, I think, about 45 seconds with everybody else. She's on a tear. Tennille Espinosa, I think she is 18-1 right now. She's a junior, and she's doing very well. We also got Nevaeh Young. She's our only senior. She's been wrestling very, very well. I think she only has 2 losses. She's like 19-2. Hannah Mariano, she's undefeated at 185. She's pretty much just been bullying everybody in the weight class. But yeah, I got a handful. I got some young up-and-comers. I got Amber Gutierrez. She's my little 8th grader, little 100-pounder. And first-year wrestler, and she is getting it done there.
With all those names that you mentioned, it's obvious your program is deep at different weight classes. You have an 8th grader that's on this program. How have you seen girls wrestling develop and grow over the last couple of years in a short period of time?
Man, it has been awesome. We've always had a stable of female wrestlers in the Gallup area, but I think once they started getting recognized on a sanctioned level by the NMAA, I just brought it to a whole nother heights. And I think with coaches being able to schedule tournaments in the right demeanor and do these girls a solid, I think we're only going to see it grow.
How is girls wrestling different than boys wrestling?
They're not as stubborn, for sure. They're easier to teach. I think there's trust in the movements that you're showing. Where I guess us guys have a little bit of ego and we think we know it all. But yeah, I think females are a little bit easier to teach something. They're very open-minded, but not to take anything away from the boys at all. I really don't teach gender-specific wrestling. They all get out there and get it done together. They're working hard. They're sweating, bleeding, crying together. So yeah, I mean, once you walk through that room, it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, you're going to be treated the same, and the same expectations are set forth.
Speaking of genders, I noticed that there are a couple Sellers boys on the roster. Who are they, and what's it like coaching them?
Man, it's very oh man, it's a great experience. My youngest, Gage, he's a 8th grader. Coming up this year. We don't have middle school wrestling in McKinley County, so he's able to join in with us. So it's a pleasure having both boys on the squad. Reese is a senior. He's doing real well at 120 this year. He's 23-0. Bright future in front of him. Smart kid. Just as a father, it's great to share a passion with your children, and those kids don't get treated any different. And I think that's the transparency of our program. And that's, I think, why we've been able to be successful.
During the pandemic, with weather permitting, you've taken wrestling outdoors. What kind of experience was that like?
Oh, man. Tell you the truth, JP, I wish we could move wrestling to spring. It just brings a whole different atmosphere to get out under the lights on a football field and get it done in front of a huge crowd. You get these kind of chills when you're in those environments. So it's definitely great. I mean, I wish wrestling kind of moved to spring so we could do more of that. But you know what? There was a lot of adversity that was put in front of every wrestling coach. And, we made it work. and we got through it last year. You know, with the uptick this year, it's a little scary, and we're just trying to make it to the end.
Talking about making it to the end, this year's state championship format will be all in one day. What kind of challenge does that present for you in the program?
You know what? It really doesn't challenge my program whatsoever. The one day is probably going to benefit the people that cut a lot of weight because they don't have to have the second day weigh-in. But it's also going to affect their performance. My kids walk around at what they wrestle. We're not a huge weight cutting team. I just really don't believe in it. I believe in getting really good at wrestling and not getting good at cutting weight.
Are we looking at Patriots three-peat on the girls' side?
You know, God willing, writing's on the wall. You know, it's going to take a train wreck to derail us. But I feel confident going in. You know, I see this huge learning curve that these girls are starting to pass through and starting to really understand balance in their body and movements and utilizing setups. So, yeah, you know, God willing, I hope we bring back a three-peat to Miyamura.